Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. Welcome if you're a new viewer.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Liz. On Instagram and Ravelry, I'm Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
And I'm Carolyn. I'm cpredmor on Instagram and Ravelry. And on Instagram, when you see Knitting in Our Jeans -C, that's me too. And anybody who's returning, God bless your hearts, because last week was really silly. We should have figured out how to insert the photo. We both had big eyes like that because the flash went off, and we went, how do we get a picture? Anyway, it is us.
We pressed the wrong button.
We're back.
Yeah.
And it is a Sunday, and we've had a lovely day.
Yes, I look very shiny.
I think I do
well
too.
Moisturized.
Yes, we had a spa day. We treated each other to a spa day, mom and daughter. And so now I have feet that are relatively reasonable to look at, and my face is no longer tight as an old linen drum, which is what happens when the end of the semester, we go sailing and all that kind of stuff. I completely forget about
moisturizer and proper cleansing and
all that kind of stuff. So we had a spa day, which was great. And then we tried to help a student with GMAT math. I just don't work with those kinds of numbers anymore.
And I do, but what they're asking is not logical in engineering/construction brain.
No,
I don't know.
We apologized, and we said, the good news is I don't think you need this exam by January. So if you want to wait till January, you can
just get an internship.
That's right. So I had several people that we could put a call into. We'll see what she decides to do. It's one of our least helpful interventions.
It was.
So sad.
And then yesterday we had a pretty full afternoon.
We did. We ended up having to go to a funeral. One of the ladies in the choir, her husband died. And, he had a great life. They called him Mr. NBC and Mr. HBO. So apparently he was very influential in the early days of television and cable TV. And it was a lovely service, so we enjoyed that.
Almost the entire choir showed up too,
yes,
which is
nice.
Not rare, but for a summer when we're already in summertime and we don't see each other every Sunday or even for rehearsals during the week during the summer, it's nice.
To see everybody.
It's nice that when we can and when no one's on vacation or whatever, we can gather around those who need us.
Right.
Wow. And can you tell we're related.
And then we met our former minister and his wife in the parking lot.
They captured me. There are some, I don't know. I'm a younger person. So there are some older people that you kind of can fob off and just be like, oh yes, it's great. Okay, my mom's waiting. I gotta go. They are not these people.
No.
They have known me my entire life.
Oh yes.
And
yes. He baptized her.
Yeah. So they ask me a question, I answer fully. They have follow-up questions, I answer fully. And then, in the respectful way of a conversation, I ask how they are doing and ask follow-up questions. Yes. So, of course, Mom couldn't tell who I had gotten captured by because we were in a parking lot.
And I was already in the car.
I was running to a different car to grab something, and then I stopped by one of our one of our church members had, about 10 years ago, moved down to Florida and was actually part of the same parish as my grandmother. Right. And then they decided they missed New York too much, moved back. So now whenever I see her, I have to give her a hug because my grandmother keeps saying, when you see her, please give her a hug for me.
Absolutely.
So I had to, and then I got caught.
And then
but
I got out of the car, went and said hello, and I should not have gotten out of the car.
No, you shouldn't have.
Because getting back into the car, I popped my knee. And exactly what I popped,
I'm
not sure. But I'm making phone calls to various doctor's offices tomorrow because it hurts like a son of a gun.
Yay.
And it may be my ACL. So,
and we have a wedding this coming up weekend.
I'm not going to be dancing, that's for sure. So, I'm going to find out what I've done. Hopefully get into a doctor's office and see about this. Obviously not moving more than I have to. until I find out exactly what I've done. But, you know, these things happen. I understand this happens a lot to sports figures. So, you know, I did try to increase my exercise. I actually had a trainer at school, and I was starting to do all these things. And it may have been pushing that old knee just too far because it's the knee I've always had the tendonitis in. So it's possible. So anyway, be making phone calls tomorrow to find out who I can see rapidly and get a diagnosis, and then we'll go to the wedding where I'm supposed to be running the rehearsal. The minister who's supposed to be there on the day of the wedding has weddings up the kazoo on Friday, so I've got the order of service, I've got the names, I've got the order of the processions, and we're going to practice until they get it right, and then we get a dinner. So we've got a full weekend. I'm going to be wearing my fascinator on Friday.
We'll get some photos.
Yeah, so they can say, follow the woman in the fascinator, or the funny hat. When we were in Rome one year, we had this little Italian woman. She looked like she was about 85 as our guide, and she had this big black umbrella. Yes. And she was very easy to follow.
Because she had this big black umbrella that she would hold up.
That's right. So I'm going to be the woman in the black fascinator that people can follow me during the wedding rehearsal. So that's kind of a thumbnail sketch of what we've done this week in terms of these odds and ends.
And I finished a sweater. This is my Miranda. I'm turning this way so that the sunlight can show you the cables. And it fits really well.
Yes,
and
it
I
does.
really like it. I decided not to put the hood on. So, yeah. I finished it. I'm really happy with it. It took 10 days.
Not bad.
No. It's about 500 and something yards, and yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yes.
I was very, very happy. So, I have some leftover yarn. I was really hoping to stash bust all of it, but, you know.
Well, you gave up the hood.
I did, and I didn't.
Were there supposed to be sleeves?
It's either short sleeves or longer sleeves, and I felt that it just looks good the way it is.
Great.
So,
all right.
And also because I feel like I don't know if I would have had enough to get to there on both sides.
Them
two at a time, and
two different. You could even do two different needles to do one row and the other row, that kind of thing. I finished something too.
What did you finish? I
finished my first pair of socks for Tour de Sock. Yes, look at this. And let's see.
And I'm knitting my first pair of socks for Tour de Sock.
The decrease is all on the bottom. Do you see that double decrease? There's a line here and a line there. So the decrease of the gusset is all on the bottom. It feels just a little strange. But they fit very, very well. These were cuffed down. And
as you can see, because I'm knitting on mine, I started it yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday.
It's a very cool pattern.
I've knit up to the marker yesterday, and then I've knit from the marker down today.
So it's a really very easy pattern. I would have gotten it done a little sooner, but then he isn't a mechanical engineering professor. He's a chemical engineering professor. Had emailed that excitement about the class and what do we need to do next. And so when I went into work on Wednesday, I worked on that and worked on a few other things. So I had a couple days where I actually did real work, like my own work. And I didn't knit, but I did get that done. Then I'm really pleased, and I understand that today's the 15th of July. The next pattern drops on the 18th, and I have 3 choices.
Oh, I left my choices downstairs. Hold on. Ooh.
So I have these 3. She said either a tonal, a solid,
or a small variegated.
Yeah. So I've got this, I've got this, and I've got this, and all of these are from supporters, support suppliers, sponsors, something like that. This is Bugbear Gemstone Sock, and I like that. I don't have any pink socks, so that would be pretty. This is Miss Babs, and this is Hot Shot. It's a Babette. Oh, Mantis. So it's kind of a sea foam and a little brown shell type of thing. I think that would be pretty too. And this is also Miss Babs. This is a wild iris, so that's not repeatable.
Right.
And this is barren cactus flower, which I do like. So one of those three I will be caking up once I see the pattern. I really, I didn't want to cake it up until I saw the pattern, so we'll see. I mean, I bought them all for this tour de sock, so I hopefully will be able to use them. If I don't use it now, I will use them in the other patterns that come along. And so far my hands are holding up, so that's good. So I'm really quite pleased. I use a size 1 needle, and I knit the medium, which was a 60 stitch, because the small was a 55, and I thought that that would be a little too small for getting over my heel or my ankle. And I enjoyed it. It's a curved, it's a Latvian braid top.
No, it's a Latvian twist.
Latvian twist top, thank you. So you knit 5, and then you bring your left-hand needle towards you and twist the whole thing. So kind of upside down in your head, because we're so used to trying not to twist. This is
it was really interesting.
Decided twist. So that was fun. And so I held my end of my team up by getting it done in 5 days, which was good. I was, well, six days. I was hoping for 4, and as I said, work intervened, and I didn't get that part done. Well, but I did get it done in good time for me, and my hands don't hurt, so that's really good. So what else?
So I cast on these socks, and Mom and I have talked a lot about how knitting with my ones kind of hurts, and it's not necessarily like the points of my fingers or anything. It's like the sides of my fingers because of how I hold my knitting. So it's like the side of my middle finger that usually kind of hurts. And so Mom a while ago had said, well, why don't you try a pair of my carbons? So I started working on my Chaugus, my red lace Chaugus, fixed. And then I was like, wait, there's a pair of ones on the table. So I grabbed these.
Okay.
I'm going to switch them before I go home because I figured you wanted these for the next pair.
I do.
Right, that's why.
Just wondered.
Yep. So,
I have been pretty good at sticking my needles back in my needle holder.
You have.
So.
I mean, I'm tempted to go and see if you have another pair in there.
I might.
You might.
You never know.
Because then I don't have to switch these back off then.
They would have to be the same length though. I like the length.
That's fine. I can go with longer cord or shorter cord or something. We'll figure it out.
Maybe if there's a longer cord, I'll take the longer cord.
Okay. We'll take a look.
All right.
But as per usual, Mom was right. It is a bit more comfortable. I don't think I will be a super sock knitter, but with the pattern, these are going really quickly, as I said.
It's a really easy pattern. It's called Plan A. And
it's really it's very nice.
There's
it's 10 rows.
10 rows, and there's differences
pretty
every other row,
which
is nice, and then it repeats. And there were for the tour de sock, it was 6 of the patterns down so you do your cuff. You do a rib for 11 rows, and then you do the leg for 6 patterns. Do your heel. The heel was an eye or partridge type of heel. And then with the gusset on the bottom, which made it different. And then do 7 patterns from where you started the heel on the top. And it fits me perfectly. Very, very happy with that. And it was a regular, bring in the sides toe, which is not my favorite toe, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I've actually worn into bed once. Can't remember why. God knows it's been hot enough around here, so I don't know why I wore into bed, but I did. And, in Richard's office, we had patients come in and, oh, you're knitting a pair of socks. Why are you knitting socks? And I said, they breathe. I wear my socks, not only in the wintertime, but I wear them underneath my sailing sandals, or in my sailing sandals. Yes, I wear socks in my sandals, but when I'm sailing, because my feet get wet a lot, particularly when it's raining, because we've yet to be able to find a pair of sailing boots that feels comfortable. And I really don't like wearing the rubber socks, which is the alternative, the waterproof sock. So the wool socks will keep my feet warm when they're drenched. So that's why I do it. But, you know, as we all know, wool breathes, and so it's really delightful. So anyway, I'm very happy with the color. I love the way the color turned out. I'm very happy with the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know how I like this color coming out. It looks actually better on camera.
It does look better on camera. It looks a bit, I don't know, trashy-y. It's just like a lot of different colors.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's really pretty. So I'm going to see how it works through the heel and onto the foot. And then once I get about halfway into the foot, I'm going to try it on. And if it sucks to get onto my foot, we'll just frog it. Because, yeah.
It might look better than a sweater. Because it reminds me a lot.
Sweater, or do you think or do you think maybe like a shawl, or...
Well, see, this looks fine.
Right.
It's the other pattern that...
Yeah, and I thought it would look really good in that.
It reminds me of the other nerd girl that I had as my hem.
Mm.
Speaking of which, someone was asking me if I was going... If you don't owl, you do what?
Newt.
Newt. I was going to newt for the next season. And I'd like to. So I was thinking I could either newt the black and white dress.
Ooh, yeah, do that one.
So I could do that, or I thought I could maybe newt the two tunics.
The black and white dress would be lovely for Christmas.
I have to figure out what categories that would fit.
We can work on it.
It's either that or the Susan Crawford project. I think that would be a newt also.
Oh, yeah. Either or.
So I have been working on my sample swatch. Pardon me. So while we were trying to help my student with math, I'm doing color work. So now I've got color work in it. And what I need to do is pin it out and see how many stitches to the inch I've got and have I reached gauge. But now I have color work. So yes, they did say that the gauge was done during the color work, so now I've done that, and we'll be able to get that done pretty well. And of course, speaking of which, the Tour de Sock is on while the Tour de France is on. And we've been watching either in the morning or late at night. I love it, and it's great to knit.
Oh my God, we were up till 2 a.m. last night. Mind you, I fell asleep at like 1. My boyfriend woke me up because he was going to bed at like 1:30. And then I managed to stay up for the last half hour.
It was a incredible finish.
I love watching the finish. If you haven't watched it, definitely like look up like the last 5 minutes of the telecast or like the finishes, because it's always just so amazing to see
nail biting
who pulls it out.
And their strategic plan.
They're so strategic about their bike racing. And it was really interesting yesterday because they had two people. They had 2 people who had been leading the tour, and the peloton was about 5 minutes behind them for most of the road race. And then we get up towards the end, they get caught, and everyone's like, all the commentators are thinking that the guy who's been in the lead pretty much this entire day isn't gonna.
No, he's gonna get tired.
He's gonna get tired. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. It's gonna be Sagan or Greipel or one of the bigger names who does the sprinting. And so about 100 feet out, 100 meters out,
200 meters,
200 meters
Sagan takes off.
Just takes off, which he does. And then Greipel comes up his butt, and then this guy, I can't even remember his name because it's German and it's like GS Digibah.
Yeah, really.
He's just
new this year.
Yeah, he's brand new this year.
He had brand new in the leadership this year. He has been writing before. He's not the brand new young writer, but he's new in the leadership.
Yeah.
And he just pulls it out at the end. Both Greipel and Sagan came out too soon.
It was amazing.
They used up their sprint before they got to the end.
It was amazing. Yeah. And the fact is like, Mom and I have been into this probably for the last
decade.
Yeah, 10 years or so.
Longer than that. Well,
we used to watch it at the beach.
Well, not only that, but I made your robe to the Tour de France. I did a
right. That was 2008.
Right.
So that was a decade. That would be a decade.
Yep.
But I feel like we got into it after the whole Armstrong.
No, I watched him.
You watched him? I don't remember
him. In fact,
watching
I watched some of the Frenchmen before then.
I don't remember him. That's the thing.
And Greg LeMond. I watched when Greg LeMond was writing. Well, you're younger than I am.
Well, yes.
Greg LeMond and...
I don't even remember Armstrong, which
Bernard Hinault.
I've heard it. They've discussed him. The commentators have discussed him.
Yeah, Bernard Hinault was...
Bobke has mentioned him.
Bernard Hinault was a Frenchman who just ran that tour. And then Laurent took after him, another Frenchman. And then it started breaking up into Greg LeMond. Greg LeMond was in there someplace. And then he had a hunting accident. He couldn't ride anymore. And then we had the cheater.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had a bunch of others since then. Because George Hincapie was on Armstrong's team, and George was from Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he also got caught up in the drug doping type of thing. It was really unfortunate. But yes, I like to watch Hincapie and all those. So, keep thinking that I'm going to get out and ride my bike. Who knows? Maybe once I get my knee fixed.
Yeah, so that was part of our plan.
I know. So now I have to get my knee. I have to find my knee. What's wrong with my knee and get it fixed. Well, have you been working on anything else?
I have, and I just something is like definitely is like tugging at my brain from yesterday, because I feel like they kept on saying a Frenchman won, and we've been saying a German. So what stage was yesterday?
I think it was...
Official site of the Tour de France.
It was either
Stage
8 or 9. 9? Okay.
Stage 15th, yes. Right?
Deckenkalb.
No, yesterday was the 14th. Right?
Yes. Groenewegen.
Groenewegen. I guess not then.
Yeah, Groenewegen does not sound like a French name. The French won today.
They did.
In the Grand Cup. What is it? World Cup.
Yeah, I know. I totally thought...
Sorry. So did you work on anything else this week?
I did.
What I did?
I did. So, Nerd Girl is doing a... Ooh. I did 3 stitches on this and didn't finish the row. Good job, Elizabeth. Is doing a Hitchiker along. And... Apparently, on the 11th tooth, I have hit the color repeat to create this pooling. That'll
change.
That'll change. So this is the Hitchiker by Martina Behm. I'm doing it on size 7s. I've got 2 skeins of yarn that I'm doing every other tooth, striping it, because they're both the scarf by Nerd Girl. Which is based on Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor's scarf. But one skein is from the original batch that I got on a D-Stash, and one skein is from her reissue in 2014.
And they're different.
And
we're not surprised.
No, we're not surprised. But
so by striping
you can't really tell.
No, but if you had done a batch and a batch, it would have been bad.
So I've been doing them on... I wanted to make it bigger and more shawl-like, because I feel like this would look really good with like a navy or a gray.
With a lot of things.
Right. I feel like it needs to be worn with a neutral, though. Like, I feel like it's very busy and needs to be worn with a neutral.
Hot pink, yeah.
Yes. Hot pink. Polka dots. Yes. So... I wanted it big and shawl-like, not as scarfy as my previous Hitchikers have come out. So I decided to knit it on 7s. I thought about knitting it on 8s, but I felt like that would just have been too airy. But like, feel how smooshy it is.
That's nice.
It's so smooshy. So smooshy.
Well, I love her yarn anyway.
I know. And it's funny because one of the skeins is on Swagger and one is on Oh Snap. So some of the stripes have nylon and some of them don't. Oh well. So I'm really enjoying this.
Ow. Oh.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. So yeah, so I've been working on that. And I picked up the sleeves of my Zweig.
Yay!
Yay! Sleeves. I don't think I'm going to get this done by the end of next week because why did I decide that a fingering weight sweater is a thing that I can do? Why?
Because you saw me do it?
Yeah. And it's so pretty.
It is pretty. And you're going to get it done anyway.
I will get it done. I don't think I'll get it done for mission. Like, I'll get 25%, but I don't think I will get...
Right.
Which is sad, because I wanted to get it, but it'll get done anyways.
25 points is better than nothing.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to finish this row while we sit here, because...
Why not?
Why have this have... You know, row on.
So,
well, and I think the reason I got this sweater done that I'm wearing the Miranda done so quickly is because I was carrying it. Well, and I was carrying it as my purse project.
That helps.
I don't know. I don't think this Zweig is purse projectable
I don't think so
until I'm back on the body and only have one skein of yarn with me.
That makes sense.
So I'm debating either socks or the Hitchiker, because I'm thinking the Hitchiker could also be good for the house cup.
Yes, we were talking about that.
The house cup Quidditch. Yeah. So.
All right. So house cup Quidditch is, there's 2 countries in the mix, the UK and the United States.
So you need something to wear to cheer them on.
That's right. And so I've got this. And before you go, what is US about that? I'm thinking fireworks. Do you see the sparkle in it?
Oh, and mine is UK because Doctor Who.
Yes. So this is Opal. And the ball band is in here someplace. Oh. It's Opal Funny Mit Thibber Effect. Ulkig. Farb 9331. That's what this is. And here's the ball, the skein. And I'm loving it. I think it's going to be great for a black dress, a black suit, navy blue. I think it's going to be wonderful. So, yeah, we have what, to the end of next week? Something like that?
No, it's the end of the month.
End of the month. And I only have to do 35 of these holes. You see those? And of course, every hole indicates 2 rows. And every 2 rows you add 6 stitches. So it's getting a little longer each row, but that's fine. Eventually I'll have 260 something stitches, and then you do the border. So I think it's going to be really nice. I'm really very pleased with that. But wait, there's more. Let me find. Yes. And I also have not forgotten my Julia. I have been working madly. See, the Tour de France is really good for me and working on my knitting.
Well, we also did binge a good amount of Escape to the Continent yesterday.
Yes, but you see, I am lacking. I now have 90 stitches on the needles. I need 98. We just had a blip there.
You're fine.
Did you see the blip?
Yeah, I saw the blip.
Okay, so I need 98, so I have 90, and I increase every 9th row. So
9 times 4 is 36.
I have 36 more rows to go.
I'm assuming you increase symmetrically.
Yes. And then I do the cap. And really, I should have, the length should be perfectly fine once I reach those 98 stitches, because at 86 stitches it was 12 inches. 84 stitches it was 12 inches. So the increase is doing really well. And I'm hoping, I was hoping to finish the sleeves tonight. I don't know that I'll get there.
I think you'll get to 98 tonight.
But I'll get pretty far down the road. And the front and the back are done. So I'm going to finish the sleeves as soon as I can. Hopefully before the new sock pattern drops. And then I can sew it together, turn it in, and then I will have gotten my owl in on time. And I can wear it since it's cotton. And I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited about that. So that is really cool. And I'm really proud of myself between the socks and this, because when I first started out with Tour de Sock, I said I'd be a cheerleader and I'd knit some, but I didn't do anything. And then
I said I'd be a cheerleader, and I'm actually doing one of them.
I think that's great. And then the first year I was on a very relaxed team, I did 1 pair. Last year I did 2 pair. This year my goal is 3 pair.
My goal is to finish this one before all of it ends.
Right. There's at least 1 pair of socks with beads. I'm not sure I want to do that pattern with beads. You know, my life and beaded socks don't really seem to mix, so I may make the pattern without the beads, but that won't count. But I'd like to make 3 pairs that count in the competition as I keep ramping myself up in my socks. My first pair of socks took me a month to make.
Yep.
And I only started
way.
4 years ago. And I complained all through the first sock of the first pair. And then...
Because she thought, since she can whip out a sweater in like 3 weeks, if she's really working on it, that she could whip out a sock or a pair of socks in over vote knitting weekend.
No. But I've gotten to the point where I could do it in 4 days. Mm-hmm. Not like the Finns who do it in 18 hours.
No, they did it in like 5 hours.
They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. But I have come pretty far. And then the other thing, are you going to...
Oh.
What?
You mean stash acquisitions?
Yes.
So, some of our... Oh, it said our name on it. I didn't even notice that. That's funny. On the bag.
Oh.
We got our Tits Out collective from Asylum Fibers.
Yes, it's
so
gorgeous.
It's called, If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out, Call Me Crazy. And then I ordered 2 skeins of Trepidation to make a VT, so, or a V top, or it's VEE, and it's a sweater, and you can make it either short sleeve, like cap sleeve length, or 3/4 sleeve. I think I'm going to make a 3/4 sleeve. Mm-hmm. And I already have a bag set aside for this project because I felt like it was necessary. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to wait to cast it on because I want to finish the Zweig. Because I finished this. This was an unintended FO. And I'm going to finish the Zweig. I need to finish Leo's Little Pixel and send that off to him.
Well, you ought to tell him what Leo was doing.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So, my friend's son decided that her knitting project bag was his new favorite thing.
His briefcase.
Mm-hmm. So, he carried it around the house with him and would not give it back to Mom. So, I got an adorable picture of him with the bag. It was great.
With said bag, yes.
Yes, it's pretty great.
And every time she went to pick it up, so did he.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I figure I'll do those. So I want to do those 2 projects, I think. I think that's the plan. Why the heck am I screwing this up? Just talking.
I'm going to turn the light on.
Okay. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to finish the Little Pixel after the Zweig, and then the cast on or swatch for the Tegna. So that is the plan. That is what we are going to do. And then we will swatch for other things once we finish all those things. And then we will decide if we start the VT or if we do a Ciplia or a Sunset Highway.
Okay.
Because apparently anything Caitlin Hunter designs, I want to knit.
Ah, we are not alone.
I know I'm not.
Alone.
I know I'm not. And yes, it's necessary. So I have all that yarn. Oh, no, I think I'm going to do the Tegna and then the Amenjea with the Rhinebeck yarn from not last year, but 2 years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. 3 years ago. It's 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because I would like to wear that to Rhinebeck.
Okay.
Because it has a Rhinebeck colorway in it.
Okay.
So
that's good.
That's my current plan. We'll see how that goes.
Molting, yeah.
I have one hair that is just annoying me. There we go.
Okay. I had books come. Well, magazines
I had more stuff come, but we'll go to that, and then we'll go back to the other exciting thing.
Knit Scene.
Woo!
Okay. And there's several in here that I like.
Several.
whoops, this tunic I think is lovely. This is a classic cable sweater, and the pattern doesn't, oh, it's showing it better on the screen than it does in my lap, but I really like that. I think it's called Rialto. No, it's the Claire sweater. This doesn't send me. The cable for me is too big, but for some people that just fits them quite well. I love this. There we go.
It's pretty great.
Yes. That is the Olivia sweater. And then this is a cable that is worked sideways, which is something to conjure with. And that is the Susie cardigan. Are you catching a drift here? They're all named after women. And let's see, I had one. Then there's a cowl tutorial. And then, to me, this is a very college sweater.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would make it for myself. But then I have one from Brooks Brothers that looks almost exactly like it.
I kind of like that.
This?
I don't know why, but I kind of like it.
I was thinking making in shades of black and gray. I think that would be pretty.
Maybe with like a pop of something in
hot pink.
Like where the blue is, just to give it some definition.
I was thinking we could dye something.
Of course we can.
So anyway, yes, our yarn is at Knit if you're interested, and we think that we're going to be supplying yarn to Knit for Vogue Knitting Live, and she's going to be having some event in October, and it looks like we'll be supplying some yarn there. So if anybody's interested, hop on over to Knit in Roslyn, New York, and she has Knitting in Our Jeans yarns over there. We've got a bunch of different weights. And then Vogue Knitting
Vogue.
And I love the cover sweater. Love that cover sweater. Can you tell I'm a fool for cables? Oh my goodness. And then I had all kinds of pages turned over here. Oh, there is a lace dress in here that I think is to die for. I would put sleeves on it because I'm not excessively thrilled right now.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love that.
But I do love that. Now, let's see. Get to my first page turn over here. Right, this is the Golden Girls, and here is...
This is the article where they tell you that anyone can wear yellow, unless you're me.
There, and this is the one I like. Oh, yes. I have cable problems.
Cable problems?
Yes, I love everything with cables.
Reasonable?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and then they have Tools of the Trade talking about stockings and how they were only for the wealthy because the knitting needles, in order to make those stockings, were out of drawn metal, and it was very expensive to make. So here we start.
Both of them.
I like both of them. Both of them, both of them. My hands can't knit fast enough.
No.
Then there are these two to conjure with. Oh my goodness. Or as one of the people from the Great British Baking Show says, oh my giddy aunt. And here they all are on the 2-page spread. Oh my goodness. It just gets better and better and better. And
actually, there's a really good article in this issue. There's two that I really liked. One is an interview or like a article on Stephen West. Very good. And then we have Circular Gauge from Meg Swanson. Thank you. From Meg Swanson. And it was just great.
Yes.
It's just great. She's like, there are multiple different ways you can do this. And look, I have 3 alternatives for the 3 ways you can do it.
Yes, exactly. She thinks, make a hat.
Make a hat.
Elizabeth likes this.
Theoretically.
I
like it theoretically. I don't think I would knit it for myself. But I really am.
For me, I don't like the sleeves. The sleeves are not for me. No. But I do like tunics. I like this. Okay. Not in those colors, but I do like that. Let's see what else I turned down here. Oh, here it is, lace values, and you can see the lace pattern.
It's very pretty.
Very much better. It's gorgeous. And, you know, God bless the person who has that kind of imagination. And another cabled sweater. I'm in heaven. Absolute heaven. Oh, by the way, Vogue Knitting has come up with a new app for your cell phone and your iPad. And if you subscribe to Vogue Knitting, you can download a gazillion years of Vogue Knitting.
Is it better than the one that they had 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes.
Good.
It is. And because I downloaded it. And I got fresh copies of all of the patterns, and this way I don't have to carry the book around with me when we go from place to place. So those are all in this one magazine, and I love it. You stuck yourself?
Under a nail.
Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry. We'll get you a Band-Aid in a minute.
No, it's under the nail, so there's nothing you can really do about it.
You can bandage your nail to your finger.
Oh, gosh. So, I also got a very exciting package.
What'd you get?
I got my yarn for my friend's sweater.
Oh, yeah.
So I got, this is gold W Bliss Rialto DK Superwash Merino. And this is Valley Yarns Valley Superwash DK, also in Superwash Merino. This is gold, gold, right? This is, where's the color? Where's the color? I think it's called gold.
Right.
Gold and navy. So they will look beautiful together. And with it, they were giving, because the Rialto is on
Special?
Discontinuing, I think they were giving out this Debbie Bliss pamphlet.
Very
which
cool.
Is very cool.
Interesting
and
mitts.
Very interesting mitts. And
nice. Poor boy sweater.
Yeah. There are some really interesting, very classic pieces.
Moss stitch.
The moss stitch prop.
It's very pretty. Of course, I like that color. Between cables and wine color.
Yeah.
You've got me every time.
Yeah, and then there are these bobble and cable mitts. Okay. So,
Dad.
So that's what came with the yarn, and just so we all remember, I am going to be knitting this sweater for my best friend from high school.
Nice.
So, I'm excited. I am very excited.
So is she.
She is super excited. She knows that there is no deadline on this. There is no timeline to be given. I want to put it all back. It's not going to work. Oh, well. So, yes, that I think is about it.
A busy week.
Very busy week.
Yes.
Finished a sweater. Very proud of myself. My cast on, I'm more than halfway through a leg of a sock.
Very good.
It's crazy.
I finished a pair.
Look at you.
Very good. And we're dyeing more yarn downstairs. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to weave in some ends. Actually, I've woven in all my ends at the moment. I'm going to go downstairs and work on my sleeves. She's going to continue working on the sock. But it's really been nice visiting with you this weekend. Next weekend, we'll tell you what's wrong with my knee.
Yeah.
Oh, well. And we'll be enjoying the wedding, so it should be fun. So anyway, we hope you have a really great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.